Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson is presented by Actistatin, ADENA Springs, Ashford Stud, Bloodstock Research, Brandywine Farm, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, Crestwood Farm, Darby Dan Farm, Gainesway, Keeneland, Juddmonte Farm, Lanes Inn, Malone's, Margot Farm, OCD Pellets, Pinoak Stud, Quillen Leather and Tack, Ramard, Sally Horse Vans, Shadwell Farm, and WINSTAR Farm.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Thoroughbred Week, featuring a battle between top 3-year-olds in the Grade 3 Holy Bull Stakes at Gulfstream Park and a front-running winner of the inaugural Houston Ladies Classic at Sam Houston Park. We begin with sprinters at Fairgrounds in the FW Gaudan Memorial Stakes. Delaney, the 7-10 favorite. John Dooley picks up the call.
The opening quarter, check that out. 21 2/5 seconds, Delaney. Paving the path past the 3 furlong pole. 3 to 5 on Delaney. Hamiltonian staying with Delaney through the turn. Gantry now being asked to pick up by Richard Aramia. Gantry driven up the inside. Delaney at the quarter pole. Then Flashpoint. Hollywood hit last to make the top of the fairground stretch. Half mile for Delaney. 44 sharp seconds. Coming down to the final furlong. Delaney with a 4-length lead from Hamiltonian. Gantry pulled to the far outside. Flashpoint is fourth inside the final 16th. And it's Delaney still giving plenty. Gantry second, Hamiltonian third. Here's a sprinter with tons of confidence. It's Delaney.
Odds-on favorite Delaney by Gainesway Stallion Smoke Blacken, the front-running winner by 4 1/4 lengths over Gantry. The second stakes winner on the card for Sean Bridgmahan. 6 furlongs in 109 flat, a 109 brisk speed rating. Delaney has won 4 consecutive stakes and 5 overall since being claimed by his current connections for $40,000 out of a winning effort at Churchill Downs last May. Tom Amos trains the Maryland-bred 6-year-old gelding for Maggie Moss. Delaney has earned nearly $450,000. Entering stud at Crestwood Farm is Country Day, a versatile son of leading sire Speightstown. Country Day won or placed in 8 stakes, earning over $500,000. Country Day stands for $5,000 live full. Share the upside is available. To Santa Anita for sprinting fillies and mares in the Grade 2 Santa Monica Stakes. Teddy's Promise, the 3 2 favorite. Trevor Denman has the call.
Into the turn they go, and still Kindle the leader by a length and a half. Kindle to distracting. Teddy's Promise goes after them on the far side. Sugar in the Morning right there. Pink Lollipops gets a tap on the shoulder to pick it up. Then Belle of the Hall. Last of all is Journaliste Day. They're at the top of the lane, and Kindle now tackled by Teddy's Promise. And here's Teddy's Promise up on the outside. Teddy's Promise, Kindle battles back on the inside, then distracting. Sugar in the Morning behind that. They are homeward bound now, and Teddy's Promise takes the advantage, and Ultra Game Kindle battles right back. Sugar in the Morning, but it is Teddy's Promise pulling Clear Lake now. And a scintillating performance today from Teddy's Promise. Teddy's Promise and Victor Espinosa win about 3.5 in the end.
Favored Teddy's Promise draws off to defeat Longshot Sugar in the Morning by 3 lengths. Victor Espinosa, the winning jockey, in 122 3. Owners Ted and Judy Nichols had all but decided to retire Teddy's Promise following her 8th place finish in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. But she came back to take the Kalukan Queen Stakes, and after consecutive stakes wins at Santa Anita, the Ron Ellis trainee has earned another year at the track. The 5-year-old mare by Salt Lake was bred in California by her owners. Teddy's Promise has earned nearly $635,000. Watch Thoroughbred Week replays online at tbredweek.com. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with turf racing in this segment, presented by Niagara Causeway, a graded stakes winning and track record setting son of Sire's Giants Causeway, standing at Margot Farm. We begin with fillies and mares at Fairgrounds in the Marie G. Krantz Memorial Handicap. Daisy Divine, the 1 10 favorite. John Dooley has the call.
Daisy Divine, steady as she goes. She's in front of Voss's Zapper Bell. Artemis Kitten still working there between horses on the outside to the end of the earth. Anniversary Girl being asked to pick up by Jesse Campbell from last. Daisy Divine. Daisy Divine turns them in past the quarter pole. Daisy Divine with a 3.5 length advantage to Ossus being driven now to challenge. Under pressure, Artemis Kitten farther back to the end of the earth, Zapper Bell, and then Anniversary Girl. Into this final Fairgrounds furlong, Daisy Divine. Daisy Divine leads a fully stretched Ossus close to the finish. Daisy Divine, Ossus, Daisy Divine and her class first in the Marie G. Krantz Memorial.
Odds-on favorite Daisy Divine strolls home by a length and a quarter over Ossus. The Keeneland Sells graduate under high weight of 125 pounds, and James Graham in 146 3. The third consecutive stakes victory for Daisy Divine, who was last seen taking the Blushing KD handicap by an easy 6 lengths. This was her fourth stakes victory over the Fairgrounds turf course. The 5-year-old mare by Calf Wayne was bred in Kentucky by Riley McDonald. It was a $5,500 Keeneland September yearling. Trained by Andrew McKeever, Daisy Divine has earned $991,000 for James Miller. Daisy Divine paid $220 to win and is the Malone's favorite of the week, presented by Malone's, Lexington's favorite steakhouse. Turf males at Fairgrounds in the Grade 3 Colonel E.R. Bradley handicap. Optimizer, the 2-1 favorite. Once again, here's John Dooley.
We head to the half-mile pole. Optimizer, Dictate Terms to Strike Impact, who's close up to Optimizer, who went the half mile in 50 seconds flat. String King right there saving all the ground. On Latch is moving up on the outside now, improving position on Latch with 3 furlongs to go, where Optimizer still is doing the legwork as they move through the turn. Moving up between horses, Trend. As they come toward the quarter pole, Dubious Miss has been wide throughout. Bim Bam up a couple of places. Then Tetra Drachma, James Street last. They come past the quarter pole. This longtime leader, Optimizer, driven by John Court, down toward this final furlong with a 3.5 length advantage to String King up the inside. Then far outside is on Latch. Trent trying to stay on between horses. Bim Bam is next, then Dubious Miss. Optimizer. Optimizer made all in the Colonel Bradley, 1 by 4.
Favored Optimizer by Lanes and Stallion English Channel. The front running winner officially by 3.5 lengths over String King. John Court up in 146 1. Optimizer continues the current hot streak of Hall of Fame trainer D. Wayne Lucas. After contesting all 3 legs of the Triple Crown last season, Optimizer has found his best form on turf. Winner of the Grade 3 Kent Stakes last summer, the well-traveled 4-year-old colt was coming off a 3rd-place finish in the Grade 2 Hollywood Turf Cup. The winner was bred in Kentucky by his owner, Bluegrass Hall, LLC. Optimizer has earned nearly $537,000. To Sam Houston Park for the Grade 3 John B. Connolly Turf Cup. Swift Warrior, the 9-5 favorite. Tom Harris has the call.
A point for the far turn now, and Swift Warrior continues to bring him along clear by a length. Lockout is there from between horses. Red led the outside. Racing at the rail is King David with a ground-saving trip by 2. Then it's Capture the Flag, just back of the set of leaders with Marinus to the outside. Seal Cove is 6 off the leader now. Moving through at the inside comes Holiday Promise. Wilcox in is 8 off the lead. Still a length to Ocean 7. Midway around the turn they go into John B. Conley. And Swift Warrior has led it from gates opening. Lockout is on the charge from the outside. King David has the door wide open now as they run for home. Swift Warrior leads them down the lane. King David on the attack. Lockout far outside Seal Cove, but Swift Warrior has been rated right. And Swift Warrior goes flag fall to finish in the John B. Conley.
Favored Swift Warrior by Claiborne Farm Stallion First Samurai defeats King David by 2 3/4 lengths. Jose Espinoza aboard the Keeneland Sells graduate in 149 1. A stakes winner at Saratoga last summer, the John Terranova trainee was making his first start since finishing a close 4th in the Grade 3 River City handicap. The 5-year-old horse was bred in Kentucky by Paget Bloodstock, Nearctic Bloodstock, and Carhew Investments. He was purchased privately by James Cavallo and James Dolan as a 3-year-old. Swift Warrior has earned $340,000. Jose Espinoza with the Safe Ride of the Week, presented by Sally Horse Fans, the safest way to the winner's circle. The Lanes and Stallion of the Week is English Channel, who sired 5 winners at 4 tracks on 3 surfaces in 2 days last weekend. Heading the group was the sound game 4-year-old Optimizer, who captured the graded Colonel E.R. Bradley. Call Jill or Jimma to discuss buying this season to English Channel. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with the Grade 3 Holy Bull Stakes coming up in this segment. 3-year-old stakes action is presented by BC2A Paste. Reduce the likelihood of tying up with BC2A Paste. To Gulfstream Park for 3-year-old turf fillies in the Sweetest Chance Stakes. Premier Steps, the 3-2 favorite. Larry Comas has the call.
46-2 for a half mile. Discreet Mark still holding on to this lead. It's a length and a half over Mystic Love. Premier Steps is closing the gap now, but is under a ride. A wide run for Caroline Thomas. Io Ireland is next, and Linen. And they're into the stretch. And it's Discreet Mark turning for home in front. Now it's a 2-length lead for Discreet Mark. Premier Steps on the outside, tries to close the gap late. And then it's Mystic Love, far outside Caroline Thomas. Here comes Premier Steps, a last move after Discreet Mark, and Premier Steps got there.
Favorite Premier Steps gets up to defeat Discreet Mark by a neck. The third victory on the card for Javier Castellano, the mile in 1:34.1. Group stakes placed at both Ascot and Deauville last summer. Premier Steps gets her first stakes victory. In her U.S. debut, the Irish-bred filly by Coolmore Stallion Footsteps in the Sand bumped the gate and finished 6th in the Grade 3 Mies Stakes. The winner was imported by Swift Thoroughbreds and Vintage Thoroughbreds. Trained by Chad Brown, Premier Steps has earned $100,000. 3-year-old fillies over the main track at Gulfstream Park in the Grade 2 Forward Gal Stakes. Kawaii Katie bet down to 30 cents on the dollar. Once again, here's Larry Comas.
Kawaii Katie begins the charge into the far turn. On top 3/4 of a length over Pow Wow Wow, Spring Venture, and My Happy Face, who has the rail. Fusaichi's Wonderful is back there running in 5th with 3.5 to make up. And then it's Ashley's Princess, a 45 and 3/2 mile. And Kawaii Katie now opens up some daylight. She's got a 2-length lead. Pow Wow Wow is second. My Happy Face is third. Spring Venture 3 wide. And Fusaichi's Wonderful on the far outside. They're into the stretch. And John Velasquez and Kawaii Katie have a 3-length lead at the 8th pole. And they're pulling away from their competition now, leaving Pow Wow Wow and My Happy Face behind. It is Kawaii Katie, strong in the forward gal.
Odds on favorite Kawaii Katie, the front-running winner by 5.5 lengths over My Happy Face. A 1-2 finish by Keeneland Sales grads. John Velasquez up in 122 flat. Winner of her first 3 starts at 2, the Todd Pletcher trainee bounced back from a 4th-place finish in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies to easily take the Grade 3 Old Hat Stakes in her 3-year-old debut. The filly by Malibu Moon was bred in Kentucky by Spendthrift Farm. It was a $90,000 Keeneland September yearling. Stone Street Stables LLC purchased the winner for $490,000 as a 2-year-old. Kawaii Katie has earned $588,000. To Santa Anita for 3-year-old fillies in the Grade 3 Santa Isabel Stakes. Scarlet Strike, the 3-2 favorite. Trevor Denman has the call.
They run past a half-mile pole. Escape Act still shows the way. 50 Shades of Haze in second. Then a gap of 3 back to switch to the lead. On the far side, there goes Scarlet Strike now. And Scarlet Strike moving into contention. Air Kitty's moving with her. 3/8 of a mile to go. Escape Act along the inside in deep water now. Been even taken by 50 Shades of Hay. They've been taken on by Air Kitty. Scarlet Strike in the white on the outside. At the top of the lane, 50 Shades of Hay, a length and a half. On the inside, Air Kitty chasing gamely, and Scarlet Strike, any one of 3. Homeward bound, 50 Shades of Hay goes on with it, finds more. 50 Shades of Hay in front. On the outside, Air Kitty chasing gamely, but 50 Shades of Hay's widening. And 50 Shades of Hay, too good for them. 50 Shades of Hay and Rafael Bejarano romping home in the Santa Isabel.
50 Shades of Hay draws off to defeat Air Kitty by 5 3/4 lengths. Rafael Bejarano aboard the Keeneland Sales graduate in 142.4. After breaking her maiden over the cushion track at Hollywood Park, the Bob Baffert trainee tried the turf in her 3-year-old debut and finished 8th in the Blue Norther Stakes. The filly by Pulpit was bred in Kentucky by WINSTAR Farm LLC. It was a $175,000 Keeneland September yearling. 50 Shades of Hay has earned $106,000 for Carl Watson, Mike Pegram, and Paul Whiteman. Back to Gulfstream Park for the Grade 3 Holy Bull Stakes, featuring the 3-year-old debut of Shanghai Bobby. The undefeated champion, even money in the wagering. Again, here's Larry Colmus.
Shanghai Bobby and Rosie Napravnik lead the way to the backstretch, prompted along by Clearly Now through a 23-1 first quarter. It's My Lucky Day is third just outside the top two, and then it's Burn Identity fourth along the rail, followed by Frack Daddy. Behind them, Tulira Castle races 5 lengths off the lead. Senor Quiscayano is next. Dewey Square is down on the inside with 7 lengths to make up. Fredericksburg's under a ride. Joshua's Comprise is last. 46-3 for a half mile. Shanghai Bobby leads the way into the far turn by just ahead. Clearly Now's right alongside of him. It's My Lucky Days going 3 wide and is up with the leaders too as they round the far turn. Then Burn Identity, Frack Daddy, and the others have been left behind. And they're coming toward the top of the stretch. Shanghai Bobby and It's My Lucky Day, and they're stride for stride. And It's My Lucky Day on the outside pokes ahead in front. Shanghai Bobby right along the rail, and the two of them turn for home, and It's My Lucky Day's got the lead. It's My Lucky Day's got the lead from Shanghai Bobby as they come into the final 16th. The others are far behind. It's My Lucky Day will win the Holy Bull.
It's My Lucky Day runs by Shanghai Bobby to defeat the champion by 2 lengths. Clearly Now third for a sweep by Keeneland Sales graduates. Elvis Trujillo, the winning jockey, in track record time of 1:41.4. A 2-time stakes winner at Calder as a 2-year-old, It's My Lucky Day rolled to a 6 3/4 length victory in the Gulfstream Park Derby in his 3-year-old debut. Trainer Eddie Plesa Jr. is now pointing the winner to the Grade 1 Florida Derby. The colt by Lawyer Ron was bred in Kentucky by Brandywine Farm and Liberation Farm. A $110,000 OBS March 2-year-old, It's My Lucky Day has earned $425,000 for Trilogy Stable and Lori Plesa. The colt was consigned by Brandywine Farm, Jim and Pam Robinson, to the 2011 Keeneland September yearling sale, where he was purchased by Nick J. Hines agents for $47,000. Holy Bull Stakes winner It's My Lucky Day, the Keeneland Sales Graduate of the Week. It's My Lucky Day was bred and raised at Brandywine Farm, a full-service operation now accepting boarders, offering quality care at affordable rates. Log on to brandywinefarmllc.com for additional information.
Thoroughbred Week is presented by Remards. Total line of equine products featuring total joint care, the complete joint product with hyaluronic acid. For more information, please log on to remardinc.com.
Time now for the featured race of the week presented by Keeneland, investing in racing's future since 1936. To Sam Houston Park for the inaugural running of the $400,000 Houston Ladies Classic. Joyful Victory, the 3-2 favorite. Here's the call by Tom Harris.
And runners away in the Houston Ladies Classic. All off to a good beginning and Sisterly Love. Waste no time and darts towards the front with Joyful Victory there, brushed by a star, racing on from between horses. She's all in, 3 off the rail, looking for changes, fanned 4 wide the outside, and summer applause towards the tail as they take it midway round the turn. And out front, settled into stride now, it's Joyful Victory, the leader by 2, tracked by Sisterly Love, just 2 off the beat. She's all in, moves into third, brushed by a star with a ground-saving trip at the inside. Looking for change on the outside, Summer Applause at the back, but they're only 4 front to back as they race on for the far turn in the Classic. And still, it's Joyful Victory to dictate the pace here, the leader by a half. Sisterly Love is right there with She's All In. The outside, Brushed by a Star, is patient at the rail. 2 back to Summer Applause and looking for change at the far turn. Oh, and the rider on Summer Applause has lost the irons. Summer Applause's rider has lost the irons midway around the turn. They run to the top of the stretch, and Joyful Victory continues to fin them off as they run to the head of the lane. Joyful Victory, the gray, takes them off the turn clear by 2.5 or 3 with a final furlong to go. Brushed by a Star charging at the inside. Sisterly Love and She's All In, but Joyful Victory first out of the gate and darts home in the Houston Ladies Classic.
Favored Joyful Victory by Gainesway Stallion Tappet sets all the fractions to defeat Brushed by a Star by 4 1/4 lengths. A 1-2 finish by Keeneland Cells graduates. Rosie Napravnik aboard in track record time of 1:42.1. The second stakes winner on the card for Napravnik and trainer Larry Jones. Joyful Victory had been winless since taking the Tiffany Last Stakes last February. This was her first start since fading to third in the Grade 2 Fall City Handicap. The Ontario-bred 5-year-old mare was a $60,000 Keeneland January yearling and a $400,000 2-year-old. Joyful Victory has earned $910,000 for Fox Hill Farms. A big weekend for 3-year-olds with the Grade 2 Hutchison, the Grade 2 Robert B. Lewis, the Grade 3 Withers, and the Grade 3 Sam F. Davis Stakes. We'll have those races and much more next week here on Thoroughbred Week.
Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson has been presented by Actistatin, Adena Springs, Ashford Stud, Bloodstock Research, Brandywine Farm, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, Crestwood Farm, Darby Dan Farm, Gainesway, Keeneland, Juddmont Farm, Lanes End, Malone's, Margot Farm, OCD Pellets, Pin Oak Stud, Quillen Leather and Tack, Ramard, Sally Horse Vans, Shadwell Farm, and WINSTAR Farm. Online at tbredweek.com.